Okay, now I can finally get to this computer. This is the Toshiba Satellite M60 laptop computer. 17-inch screen, 3 USB ports. Can't believe it, I've only had this thing for 3 days and I memorized everything that's on it. 1 serial port, 1 printer port, 1 VGA port, microphone, headphone jack, 2 PCM ICA cards, DVD rewritable drive, and a jack on it that can connect to the newer plasma TVs. As you can see, it's not doing anything. I have a song, Beethoven Symphony No. 9, playing. The orb says, has that little pause symbol, but really it's playing. Look, I'm gonna adjust my camera here. Whoa, what the hell? Look at that. My mouse isn't moving. I'm using a cheap dollar store camera stand that I bought. That's why the camera's wiggling around so much. Okay, what if I press caps lock? This indicator that I'm pointing at is the caps lock light. It's not turning on. No matter how many times I push it, the damn light's not going to come on. How about start menu? Nothing. Watch what happens when I shake the laptop. This laptop seems to have a motherboard issue. I've checked the bottom of the computer and everything seems to be running. The fan's running. Here, I'll even prove it to you. The fan is running, no problem. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can hear it. It's on. So the fan is running, but it's one of those quiet new CPU fans, like one of the quiet ones. My Acer Aspire 5050 laptop, oh god, you can hear that thing roaring every time. It's so annoying. So right now it's functioning like normal. It's running and there's nothing wrong. It only does that when you put it in a certain position. Now I've also done this by taking the hard disk out. Took the hard disk out and it still froze when I was trying to enter the BIOS. Went to the BIOS and I started changing the time and date and it started freezing, so I had to shake the laptop in order to get to work again, and the caps light turned on. So the response time is very, very late. I'm assuming that there's a board issue, or it could be the CPU overclocking every single time. It could be a CPU error. So right now the laptop is working, but there's been some times, like yesterday, when I was using it, it would constantly freeze up, and you know? I also downloaded this program called HDD Health, and this thing is 100% accurate. It tells you the manufacturer of the hard disk, and it's manufactured by Toshiba. No duh. Because Toshiba manufactures hard disks too, so. Tells you the model number, the firmware version it's using, serial number, drive capacity, and it's a 79.83 gigabyte hard disk. It says drive health, and I'll even put this in magnifier. It currently says, Currently says the drive health is excellent. Shows you the temperature. It's 39 Celsius. Not bad. The health is 100%, and I believe that. Then you have your partitions option. Click partitions. Shows you how many partitions are on the hard disk. It is formatted into an NTFS file system. Shows 69.76 gigabytes free, and the total size is 79.82. System Intel R Pentium RM processor, running at 1.73 gigahertz, 1.7 gigahertz genuine Intel. It gives you that specific information about it. So this is one of the coolest programs that I've ever used. Like, here I even have it running on my Dell Latitude C640. Basically, go to Start menu, All Programs, HDD Health. Now remember, this isn't on Windows, so you'll have to find a link and download it. Now, my hard disk on my Latitude C640 is 7 degrees hotter than the one that's in the Toshiba. It is at 47 Celsius, and it says that the health is 100%. The manufacturer, there's no information available. For some reason, I don't know why. It says model Hitachi, so the manufacturer is Hitachi. The firmware version, serial number, drive capacity 30.01 gigabytes, and the drive health is excellent. And I believe it because this computer has been performing very well. It has performed every single task that I have asked it to do. Another cool thing about this HDD health thing is whenever your hard disk goes up to a certain temperature, like let's say 57 degrees or 57 Celsius, a message will constantly pop up on the screen and say that your hard drive is above heat temperature. Well, there's an option, you can shut that off. Go to the little hard disk icon, right click, options, and then you can uncheck the show pop-up message. When the hard disk is at critical, it will play this sound. Now back to the Toshiba. It is a nice laptop indeed. It does have serious issues with the board. I've taken this thing apart several times, took all 20 screws out, popped the keyboard off, I've disconnected and reconnected all the cables. That doesn't help. I've checked the board for burn marks or anything like that. Couldn't find a thing. And there's another serious issue. We humans use USB devices every single day. We use iPods, we use thumb drives, and other storage devices, especially SD cards. Now, I'm a kind of person who uses rewritable discs. I use floppies, I've used these things, I use my iPod as a file transfer device. Well, watch what happens when I try plugging in my iPod to this crappy Toshiba. Something should happen. Oh, that's right. The iPod is restarting because it was on all day. It says USB device not recognized. I wonder why. It says it's an unknown device. And I have used this operating system on over 35 computers already. 35 computers, especially the ones I've sold. And I have not heard from any of my customers for 5 months already. I've sold some computers over the summer and 5 months ago. And I have not heard a single word or anything like that from any of them. None of them have told me, oh, it's doing this or it's doing that. The only call I've gotten was the Northern Micro Tower not turning off. And that was just a little CPU setting that was turned on. Fix that. They have not had any problems with USB devices or anything like that. They've been totally fine. So, watch what happens when I connect the USB device to my Dell Latitude C640 running the exact same operating system. Looks the same. I'd say it looks the same. So I'm going to disconnect my iPod. I'm gonna have to stop the camera because the USB port's on the back of this computer. Found new hardware, iPod. Your new hardware is installed and ready to use. Excellent. Good job. It's a USB mass storage device. That's what it should say. It can't say the word unknown device, because that's just retarded. And what do you know? Right there, iPod. All my files right there. Now, I have installed Windows XP on this laptop 3 times in a row. The first time I thought, okay, maybe it's missing a file. The second time I'm like, okay, well maybe it didn't get all the files. But the third time, which is right now, I've had enough. Before installing Windows XP, I wanted to see if this thing could run Windows 7, which I obviously knew it couldn't because it says designed for Windows XP. Now, if a computer says designed for Windows XP and Windows Vista capable, it is Windows 7 capable as well. So, I don't know. The iPod works on this computer. Let's try again just for the hell of it. This device can perform faster, it says. Okay. You are really pissing me off. And it doesn't work properly. Damn it. This iPod had files in it. And it showed it on this computer right over here. Well, instead of being called iPod, it's called Removable Disk G. But it's not supposed to be called Removable Disk, it's supposed to be called iPod. And all my files are missing. This computer's still being its crappy self, as usual. Okay, I'll unplug it again. Plug it back in. USB device not recognized. Now, I know it's not the operating system itself, because if it was, it would do the same thing on this computer. I've also checked the disk for scratches and everything like that. The CD's fine. There's absolutely nothing on the CD. Now it doesn't show the device there. So this computer is totally messed up. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm a self-taught computer repairman, and I've done every single thing that an actual computer repairman would do. Double check and make sure you know what the diagnosis is. And my diagnosis for this thing is a bad motherboard. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right because, you know, I know it's not the hard disk. The hard disk is fine. The CD drive's fine.